Hello everyone, it's Alaric, your favorite coach. Today we're gonna do a guide for Haven. We did one last time on Ascent, so we're gonna go in depth on all areas you wanna play as Fade, all the areas you wanna defend at, how you want to approach attacking every side, and all the little tricks and tips I use on my own games. As before, we're gonna take one side at a time and see its defense, its retake, and its attack. Before we jump into the video, I would like to introduce you to the first AI coach for Valorant, TipGenius, which sponsored this video. TipGenius is a free tool that will show you short video tips between rounds on an overlay. TipGenius has gathered a group of carefully selected coaches to research and create only the best tips. And hey, I'm one of them. These tips will be shown when relevant, so you can immediately try them out in the following rounds. The tips range from simple mechanics to full utility combos on the map that you are currently playing. There are new quality tips every week that will help you take your gameplay to the next level. Lots of the positions and tricks I'm showing on this video are on TipGenius and much more to discover for yourself. There's also a search feature so you can find tips on your own before you jump into the game. Plus it analyzes your matches and other cool stuff. TipGenius is Riot approved and fully safe to use. So make sure to use the link on the description, download TipGenius for free and improve while you're playing. So on pistol round, what I really like to do is play a short, and what I typically do is I buy Frenzy and I buy one Prowler. And my plan is to push short in this area, and if I hear enemies coming, I'm gonna have the Prowler out ready. When they're around this area, I'm gonna throw the Prowler and fast pick the person that's pushing. Why is this good? This is good because most of the times people are gonna push A. They're either gonna go 2 short and 3 long, or 1 short and 4 long, most of the times at least. And it's very rare for somebody to just hold from an area like this on the pistol round at least, because people don't have range with pistols, they generally prefer to push on short. And this is a very good tactic, especially in a pistol round, because when you're throwing your Prowler, it takes a lot of time for the enemies to destroy the Prowler, and until that happens, you can pick and kill them before they can destroy the Prowler, or if they hold you, it's gonna connect and blind them, so you have an easy kill here. So that's for the first round. I'm not using any tactics here because I want to use my strong tactics later when I have good guns and I can actually follow up. Now, normally defending on A, if I just want to play for info, I'm gonna push long here and have my hunt ready. The round begins, I'm gonna do like a jiggle throw to spot anybody that's coming from long. After I get the info, I can fall back only to my allies that enemies are on A lobby and they can start coming back. And here I have the option to either keep playing from the side or completely give it up to play a retake. So let's say I'm gonna play from the side. What I wanna do is I'm gonna wait for their smokes to come, and when they're about to push, I'm gonna throw the Cs, follow up by Prowler, try to delay them as fast as possible so my teammates come and assist me, and I might try to get a pick of my Prowler here. Like that. So after some rounds, what I'm gonna do, if I wanna chase the enemies a little bit, is I'm gonna play Heaven. And my plan here is to completely ignore anybody that's pushing. I'm not gonna watch them. Here it's very important to call to the other teammate of yours that's playing A that you're not gonna watch anything. The point is that you don't want the enemies to spot you in this area, you want to be unpredictable. What you wanna do here is wait for the enemy smokes. So the enemies generally smoke Heaven and they completely ignore it. And the plan here is you play from Heaven and you want to reveal them as they are pushing the side, either from short or long, most of the times from long. There are 2 ways to do this. First and easiest is just watch this area over here, and when you're getting smoked, just throw your hunt in this rooftop. It's very fast, it gets enabled instantly, and right after you throw it, you can shoot anybody that's revealed through the smoke. Now, what's very important is to actually use a Phantom for this, because if you're using Vandal, then you have Tracer bullets, and they can pinpoint you down and shoot you back. So that's why we want to stay hidden, let the enemies push, use this hunt over here. Now something else is that if you notice that the smoke is a little bit deeper than it should be, and there is space for you to throw your hunt over here, instead, this is a better hunt, because this is much faster and enemies have 0 time to react. Like imagine you pushing this, and suddenly this hunt drops in a millisecond. You have no reaction to that. So if I notice that the smoke they're throwing is a little bit deeper and doesn't cover this area over here, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw it over here. And from here I can again wallbang this. Just be careful a little bit about this one. Try to throw it as further away from the window as possible, like in this corner over here, so enemies don't kill you accidentally as they try to shoot the hunt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay here, throw this hunt, and try to kill anybody. You can even wallbang this if you want. Keep in mind that this is not wall bangable, so if somebody gets revealed like here and they push under, you can't shoot them through, so don't even try that. Now, after I get like 1 or 2 kills, I can play retake with my team, and most of the times what I'm gonna use my prowlers from up here, try to pinpoint where the enemies are playing, right? Check the under heaven as well, see anybody is playing graffiti. Then what I can do is, let's say I'm spotting somebody on default maybe, or short, or graffiti. Again, this is smoked. When I notice that my allies are starting to push, even if the smoke leaves this area, I'm gonna follow up with a C's, maybe hell, over here before I drop down, default, short, or even graffiti before I get into the fight. You want to have your utility support you as much as possible. But the whole point is using this hunt and this hunt to get a fast kill when the enemies are pushing, maybe 2 as well, and then you have a much easier retake with your team. So about A, these are the 2 tactics I'm using. This is the most broken one out of the 2, the other is just revealing and playing from the side. The thing is that A doesn't have many spots for you. We're gonna see more spots in the map to play defense at. Let's get into the retake. So let's say you're playing B and the enemies are pushed on A and you wanna go for a retake. When retaking is I'm going over here and I'm throwing the hunt in this rooftop and I'm re-triggering the second touches. So this clears pretty much the whole side, doesn't get anybody playing under here, and it doesn't get anybody playing hell on this area. After I spot where everybody is, maybe using sounds if they break it, or just straight up revealing them, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna start revealing. I'm gonna start with hell, it's the most common one, and what's default as well with the same prowler if nobody's there. After that, we're taking some space here. I might use a C's, catch anybody playing short, and from here I can check anybody holding long, but I'm gonna quickly check short as well while wiggling the prowler. And what I wanna do is, after the prowler reaches here, I'm gonna do this, so it clears both this angle and anybody in this area. So let's do it one more time on normal speed. I'm gonna start with revealing this. I spot anybody and try to shoot them. Not, then prowler under, and I'm gonna check default as well. Maybe a season short. And there we go. Now, again, important, if you have any information that somebody is on another area than the ones you're trying to check, and you have information to play around, then it might be best to keep your utility and use it around the information you have. What I'm showing here are the default executions that I'm using if I have zero information. Like if I know that there are 2 alive and they're both long, or one is hell, one is long, something like that, I might change the game style. What's important on retakes is to wait for your teams to be in a position as well. So let's say you're throwing the hunt for somebody to be already here, and after the reveal they might get like a wallbang through this box, or they have a very fast reaction. So let's go into the attack. Attack on A Heaven can be kinda tricky because you have 2 options. You can go either short or you can go from long. You have to choose what you wanna do before the round begins, because the whole approach changes in which direction you're gonna go to. If your teammates are playing short, like you have 2 teammates playing short and they have some information gathering like a sky or something else, then it might be best for you to go from long. The strongest approach for Fade is from long, but if nobody's playing short, you have to go because you have the prowlers and you can clear all these angles that somebody might be playing, especially with a shotgun. So let's take them one by one, and let's say we decide to go on A side. If we go on A side, what I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna tell my teammates to not pick in the beginning, and I'm gonna start with throwing a C's like this. I'm gonna jiggle throw the C's. And the idea here is I'm gonna catch anybody that is pushed up in this corner, and since the Fade has a trail, it's gonna reveal that they're playing here. And if anybody is picking this, if the reaction is bad enough, then I'm gonna catch them, then they're gonna be stuck there. So this might be an easy kill for me. So you see on the minimap, it catches all this area. So when I see, after I throw my C's and let's say this is clear, my team starts pushing, I'm gonna wait until they're in this area, and after they reach this area, I'm gonna be on top of this box already. I'm gonna have my hunt ready, and when they're ready to push, I'm gonna run, jump, throw it. And I'm gonna reactivate it when it reaches the rooftop, and after it passes a little bit as well. Because if you reactivate it immediately, when it reaches the rooftop, it's gonna stop here. And we don't want this because it doesn't clear this angle or this angle. So instead you want to let your horn travel a bit so it reaches this place. From here it can check all these areas. Anybody playing short, anybody playing this corner, graffiti, default. This is a very strong horn. Don't particularly need any lineups, but there are a ton of them out there. I'm gonna leave a link in the description as well if you want to learn specific lineups for this, but I'm going out with instinct, for myself at least. So right after you reveal, you want to start going with your team, and from here on, depending on what you cleared, you want to follow up with a brawler to take some more space. You might want to keep a brawler while attacking A or the post plant. So this is the A approach. It's a very strong one because you have especially this haunt. This haunts everything. But let's say you decide to go for short, because not many of your allies are going short, so you want to take this approach. So in the beginning of the round, what I'm gonna do, instead of throwing the Cs, I'm gonna ping on top of this box, and I'm gonna have my hunt ready, and when the round begins, I'm gonna watch on top of it and a little bit to the right. And I'm gonna run through it. This hunt, what it does is, it watches anybody that is a little bit pushed over here, unless they're hidden behind these boxes, and anybody holding this area. The reason I'm throwing my horn is I get more value out of this horn than what I will do from short, because from short you don't have many options. After you reach this area, like the best you can do is something like this, and it gets this angle, but most of the other areas are hidden, so you don't get much value of it unless you reach really deep, in which you already have to clear so many angles. So throwing the horn there, right after I'm gonna push short. And from here, the second I reach this corner, I'm gonna throw my first brawler. What I'm gonna clear with the first brawler is this corner, and this corner. So I'm gonna destroy it here, jiggle a bit, and check the right area as well. So let's say all of this is clear, and let's say you got somebody over here actually. What you can do is, since you have the Cs you kept, you can bounce it off the wall, catch the enemy, and then you try to swing him with your teammates. They're pretty low, they're silenced, they don't have any sound, so this is really good for you. You spot anybody, you can push in this area and try to find anybody that's playing on site. Your second brawler is enough of that. Again, if you spot anybody, you still have your Cs to support you to the fight. So this is how I engage A side on Haven with Fade. Now this is gonna be a two-part video because Haven has 3 sides and it's gonna take a long time to put everything into one video. So I'm only gonna leave the A side here, and next time we're gonna see B, Garage and C. I hope this was informative to you, that helped you. And everything I said is guidelines that I give you, and things are gonna go differently on every game, so try to improvise as well using your utility, try to be as reliable as you can, and use these guidelines to assist you, but don't think that they're gonna work on every single round. This really depends on what's going on. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you the next time.